All right, it's that time once again. This is number 3 of our big binge session, our Summer of Dual Wield, big old batch of episodes that we're recording at once. And off screen while we were waiting for our last episode to finish, Jen and I was having a talk, just having a simple talk about, hey, how was your day today? And Jen was telling me, oh man, I had kind of a crappy day at work today, which got my ADHD ass thinking. Since we have low-key recorded these past episodes with zero structure whatsoever, let's have a topic to talk about this time, for this last little batch of the day, of this particular session. Excuse me. Oh, my God.
No more soda.
Is that me doing that? That's me doing that. Okay. Anyway, just, Jesus, I gotta stop doing that. So, the fuck was I talking about? Oh, so, ADHD, ladies and gentlemen, it's a blessing and a curse. It's mostly just a curse, to be honest. But I seriously don't remember what I was talking about.
Bad days
Did I
at
just
work.
have a stroke? Oh, okay, yeah. Bad days at work, right.
And an actual topic for once.
Yes, so we're gonna have something to talk about this episode. The last of this first batch of episodes that we're putting out. So let's go ahead and we'll start it off. Who wants to start off? Do you want to do rock, paper, scissors to see who goes first? That'll be entertaining. They won't be able to fucking see it, but
How about I just start us off?
it's a better idea than what I just had. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I need to lie down.
I think Vegeta needs a nap.
I think that Bryan Danielson rant fucking gave me a seizure or something, or a stroke. I think I stroked out at the end of the last
Bryan
episode.
Danielson rant gave me a fucking aneurysm, bro.
I think it gave me a stroke. I think I need to go lie down for a minute. Why don't you go ahead and take us away, and I'll try to have some coherent thoughts, but I make no promises.
You gonna try?
I'm gonna try, but I make no promises, but I'm gonna try.
So basically, it was actually this other day. I was in one of my stores, out of town, and I was at work. It was the start of the day, and this dude had been calling the store for several minutes before opening, like
Keep talking. I'm gonna turn you up.
like 30 minutes before opening time, right?
Yeah.
And he finally gets on the phone.
There we go.
And it was somebody that I had helped, like 2 days ago. Basically, the issue was somebody had his mom was on his plan, and their phones weren't working, and he was mad, and he was talking about like coming up to the store, and I wouldn't like it if he came up to the store, and I need to give his number to my area manager, and he first he has to speak with the manager, and I'm like, yeah, you're talking to him, it's me. Hi, how you doing?
Just
And
turn.
he's like, well,
yeah, sure. 1 second. Put the phone down.
He's
do a
like,
little spin in place. Pick it up. Hi, this is the manager.
yeah, and he's like, well, but it was over the phone, so
It still would have been funny if no. I would have done it for no one's benefit but my own. To be honest.
I honest to God, I was so mad I didn't even think about it because he was really being a dick. So basically, I'm talking to him and I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Well, he said he got mad because his mom made a payment on the account to get their phones turned back on, which they shouldn't have been turned off in the first place, yada, yada, yada. Come to find out that his mom made the payment on her line instead of his. So, the way that it works for my company is you have to, whenever you pay your bill, you have to pay it on the primary line.
Right.
Otherwise, it doesn't keep your phones on.
Right.
So she paid it on her line instead of his line, which is the primary, which is why the phones were turned off. So I had to call and get customer service involved and all that kind of crap. But essentially, I got it fixed. But it was just the whole, he's like, I've been in retail, or I worked in retail for like 22 years.
That's
don't
great.
try to play this stupid game with me where you know, da 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 da.
I hate that shit.
Because I told him, like, I'm the manager, and he's like, well, I know there's a manager above you.
I hate that shit.
And all that shit.
I used to work in retail. If you work here...
Right. Right. Like, have you worked here? I'm glad you used to work in retail, and I'm glad you know how things work, so I shouldn't have to explain it to you because you shouldn't be a fucking idiot.
Yeah, you would think that.
Like, yes, of course there is a manager above me. Do you know what that manager above me takes care of? Not your stupid ass.
Not this.
Right.
Why do you think I'm here?
This is my job. I am as high as you get to go. Like, that's it.
Yeah, what do you think he hired me for?
Unless I am specifically being a douche or, you know, specifically being unhelpful. Like, purposefully being unhelpful. You know, in that instance, yeah, go ahead and report me to whoever. But I'm not going to give you their
I'm saying
phone
at
number.
that point, then you're really shit out of luck. Because if I'm really doing that, yeah, I'm going to totally give you the snitch number,
right,
at that point. So I mean, again, you're falling on deaf ears, and
that's honestly, like, what can you do? In all honesty, like, if
shut the fuck up and deal with it.
There, if, like, for instance, if I'm a customer, I go somewhere that I feel like the manager's treated me shitty, and I ask for a number for them, and they refuse to give it to me. Like, what the fuck are my options at that point? Like, it's not like you're going to actually get a hold of somebody.
You have three options, and in that situation, you can the fuck, yeah, or you can over it. I get that,
and I love it. The best part is he was an older gentleman.
Gentleman sounds very fucking, like, loosely used there, but okay, go ahead.
I try to give, you know, a little bit of benefit of the doubt. Some people have a really shitty day.
Like you, I guess.
Yeah, right. But no, he was an older gentleman. But the thing that was funny was he was saying that if my area manager didn't call him in a timely manner, that he was going to come up to the store, and I really didn't want that.
You're right, I don't want that.
Like, first of all, you're right, I don't want that. But second of all, what the fuck do you think you're going to do when you come up here?
Dude, it's phones. It's not that serious.
Like,
it's cell phones. Chill out.
Like, dude is trying to... I didn't know if he was going to try to bring the cops, which they wouldn't have done anything.
Please bring the cops. I need a show.
Right. Or if he was going to try to throw hands.
Like, which, again, older... You use the word gentleman. I'm not going to. Older fuck. Yeah, so...
Yeah, no, that wouldn't have ended well.
I will turn your dusty old bones full of green dust into dust. Like, nice boy, I tell you what. I'm going to kick your ass. That was a King of the Hill reference, yes.
But that was just the other day. Just today, actually. There was another dude that came in. He broke his phone.
That sounds like a personal problem, but go ahead.
Right, yeah, he broke his phone and didn't have insurance, which I'm gonna tell everybody here.
Tell them like it is, Jen. Testify, my brother, because I already know where you're going with this, and you and I...
Decibels, bro.
I don't give a damn.
You loud as hell.
The people in the back not listening to the podcast need to hear this.
But basically, if you have a phone, get the goddamn insurance. Because I'm going to tell you something. Shit happens.
Especially if you don't have the phone paid off.
Right. Especially if you don't have your phone paid off. Get your goddamn insurance. Because it's going to be a hell of a lot cheaper and a lot less of a headache for you in the long run. Now, granted, insurance companies are just like any other companies. Mistakes happen. Shit happens. But for 99.9999999% of the time, the insurance company is going to help you get a new phone. Yes, you have to pay a fucking deductible. It works just like car insurance. I don't know why people think that just because they pay the insurance, it's going to be free. It's just the same. It's a fucking premium and a deductible.
It's like my dad always said, better to have and not need than to need and not have.
True story. And there's so many people, there's so many people that will sit there and be like, oh, I'm so careful with my phones, da-da-da-da-da-da. And they won't buy protection for them. They won't buy a case and screen protector. They won't even just buy a case. And then they decline the insurance and everything. And then they turn around and fucking break their phone and get mad that they have to pay full price. Like, I warned them that they were going to have to pay full price.
Being
But
careful
this-
doesn't do you any good if someone else is responsible for the phone being broken or stolen.
Right.
Like, so you can be as careful as you... And that's the thing I have to tell my wife all the time about her driving. Quick side note. It's not you that I'm worried about when it comes to the driving.
Fucking
it's everyone
everybody
else. Yeah, exactly. But go ahead, continue. My bad.
But anyway, so dude comes in, he broke his phone, and like the way that I wanted to fix it is either A, he's gonna have to purchase out a whole new phone, which at minimum was gonna cost $120, so about $160 after tax.
Should have bought your insurance.
A little bit more than that after tax, and that's without a case and screen protector. Like that's the cheapest phone that we have.
Which again, you'll
without a
be
case
back
and
in
screen
here
protector.
eventually.
Yeah, right.
Oh, my bad.
You're good. Or he could have added a line and then just had another phone.
He would have to still pay on that other line, though.
Yeah, he would have still had to pay the other line, but essentially what he could have done is he could have added the line, done a device swap, and then dropped the second line.
But he's still paying on the other phone, isn't he?
No.
Oh, he's not?
No,
Well, yeah.
it's
Why
prepaid.
not just do that?
Yeah, it's prepaid. And that's what I tried to get him to do. That's what I tried to explain to
Yeah,
him.
it's prepaid.
Yeah.
What am I to...
But that's what I tried to get him to do. I tried to explain that to him, like, yeah, this is a way around it. You can do this, and it gets me a new sale, and we're good. But he wanted to throw a fit that it was $107 because I had to do a plan change for him as well.
What, do you think it's going to be free?
Well, the phone was free.
There's
He
nothing
wasn't
in
even
life
gonna
that's free,
fucking,
though.
Yeah, he wasn't even going to pay for the phone. All he was paying for was the activation fee and the fucking first month's bill.
Yeah, nothing is free.
No, absolutely. So, and this is another PSA to people out there. When you see free phone, the phone is free. The phone.
Read your fine print, people.
Nothing else is free. You still have to, you're not just going to walk in to like a Cricket or a T-Mobile, or not T-Mobile, but fucking Cricket or
You're not going to walk
Metro
in anywhere.
or Boost or anywhere. You're not going to walk into any of these companies that offer free phones and just go, I would like that free phone. And they go, sure, let me just give you this phone and let you walk out of the store without service. That is completely retarded.
I mean, if you have a gun,
Like
you might be able to get away with that.
And I'm sorry, I'm not exactly, I'm not exactly PC at the moment because that actually pisses me off. Let's face it, like, it's retarded. That is a retarded way of thinking. It really is. It is the dumbest shit ever. If you think you can walk into a place of business, switch your line over or whatever, and just walk out with a phone with no service and not pay shit, you're dumb.
Life hack. If you go into the bank with a gun, they'll give you free money.
Right.
Like, it's the only way you'll walk out of anywhere with something
I
free
have
with a
to
gun.
ask, if you truly think like that, I need you all to meet me at the city pool so I can throw some scratch and sniff stickers down the bottom. I'm just saying, like, fucking stupid.
Take a long walk off the short pier.
How about, I mean, I could just pull the earbuds out that say breathe in, breathe out, because clearly these motherfuckers can't do it on their own.
That's
is
funny.
all I'm saying.
Oh, my God.
They're the motherfuckers, you're sitting in the room.
Or they're children. Like, that's the only thing. A free phone, and they've never experienced life before.
Yeah, like
that's the
just,
only excuse for not... There's not a catch.
Or one of my biggest things, especially when it comes to my place of business, you get what you pay for. That is anything in life. That is anything in life, but is especially true when it comes to things like phones. When you run your life off of this one little device, you should probably dump more money on it than maybe just a couple $100. Now
if you
get
just-
it. Don't get me wrong. There
Yeah.
are some people out there that can't really afford, any of the nicer phones. But fuck, man, don't come in to a store asking for the cheapest phone possible and then turning around a couple months later and bitching that the phone isn't working properly. You bought a piece of shit. You knew it was a piece of shit when you bought it, but
That's what
you
you
bought
get for
it
buying
anyway.
it. That's what you get for buying an LG.
Yeah, which you can't even do anymore. Thank God.
Bazinga! Anyway, so... yeah. But,
Thank
yeah.
the gods you can't do that anymore.
That just always annoys me, is it's like... Oh, I've been scammed. I've been had. No, you're just an idiot. You didn't read.
Speaking of fucking scams and being had, I can't tell you how many people come into the store as well thinking that their fucking phone has been hacked.
No, you're just an idiot.
like, dude.
Dude, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but I'm starving.
So we're gonna go ahead and we just wanted to
let me get my story out, because
yes.
I haven't talked yet really
Sorry.
a whole lot.
Go ahead.
I mean,
Get your story.
I don't know if I should be allowed to have this microphone in the first place, but we'll go ahead and tell my story. So I have one very specific night in mind. I used to work third shift at a gas station, the graveyard shift.
Right.
Overnight, it's already like I come to work when everyone's going to bed.
Right.
And the location was a fairly busy location. I mean, again, how busy can you really be on third shift? But
you'd fucking be surprised.
But the point is, I would be much less busy in other locations if it weren't for where this gas station was located.
Right.
It was a particularly normal night. Like, it wasn't too more busy than usual. It wasn't more slow than usual. I had a lot of shit that I needed to get done. The person before me didn't do a whole lot of what needed to get done before the manager came in the morning. So I would say it was more busy in that aspect. But as far as like customers, I would say it's just about average. Probably maybe even a little slower, but it balanced out because of all the other work I had to do.
Right.
Now, anyone who has ever worked at a gas station knows, especially the graveyard shift, you get those idiots that come in, and what is like the main thing you're selling late at night at a gas station?
Usually probably cigarettes and beer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Heavy emphasis on the beer. So the dumbass Budweiser guy had come in earlier that day, and this guy was a moron. Like, this dude was like, I literally think he would fall for the scratch and sniff at the bottom of the pool thing. Like, this guy, I would say his gene pool was shallow, but it's only about 3 people in it, probably. Like, his mother sister is just, should be ashamed of him. He stacks, like, because, dude, when you stack alcohol, you know what a 6-pack looks like.
Yeah.
You can't just leaning tower of Pisa that shit.
Now, question: is this 6-pack, or is this the 6-pack of cans bottles? Okay. Wait, is it the like
glass bottles?
The ones that are like covered up as a box, or the ones that are like they have the handle?
They're the little old timey milk crate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got you.
With the bottle sticking out.
Okay. Yeah. You can't fucking stack that.
There's other stuff in there. Don't get me wrong, but like, dude had like a leaning tower of Pisa of those, and then he had some at the bottom on another stack with like 12 packs of cans on top of them. I'm like, dude, you can't do that. That is the dumbest thing. The weight alone should crush that. Surprisingly, it didn't, but it's ridiculous. And he stacked it in the worst, like the weirdest place possible. I have to do cooler. I'm like the only person at this place who does the cooler, aside from the store manager and the assistant manager. Mm-hmm. The assistant manager was off, and the store manager's not going to be there till in the morning, and it's really not her job to do the cooler. It's ours. And she knows that 9 times out of 10... I said my real name like an idiot. She knows 9 times out of 10, Vegeta's working tonight. I just doxed myself, excuse me. She knows 9 times out of 10 that Vegeta's working tonight, so I'm going to have nothing to worry about as far as the cooler's concerned, even if he has to stay like 5 hours late, which has happened before, because it was just that bad, and she knows that, oh, hey, he does his thing, so if he's still here, then it must have been that bad.
Yeah.
So, getting to the point, I stock as best I can around this travesty that is this like disaster waiting to happen. Now, granted, I've already started to downstack this just nightmare that's waiting to happen, and it's like a blood omen. It's like, it's coming.
Right.
It's coming. You want to minimize the damage as much as possible, and you want to try to avoid it as best you can.
Right.
I did not succeed. So, a little time comes by, and this little pudgy bitch comes in the store. And I say this not because to body shame her or anything, but just to shame her for being an idiot. She comes in. She's 16. She runs to the bathroom. It's dark outside. It's light inside. The entire, like, both sides of the wall of the store
Are reflected.
are windows.
Yeah.
So I can see that, yes, I left the cooler door open. And yes, I saw you leave, like, come out of there. And I see you, like, so she had, like, something like, I look and she's, like, got something under her shirt, like this, and she's, like, holding it in place and running out. What were you doing back there? Waddling her fat ass on out the store. Like, really? I told her, I was like, if you better tell your friend she better come in here and bring that back, because, you know, the cops will be on the way shortly. So she pays for her stuff, and then they speed off. As they're speeding off, one of the cops comes into the parking lot as they're speeding out. He just sees me jumping up and down and pointing. And he said, what's going on? What's going on? I said, they shoplifted. Get him. And he was like, all right, bet, say less. Because, and this is a secret for any of you who work late nights at gas stations, and you're in a town where there's a cop presence, make the coffee. Make the coffee and make it good. Because if you make the coffee good, they're going to be over there at your house at all times. I mean, not your house. Your gas station very often. And that's a good way to prevent robbery and theft and stuff like that, is because, we were known as the cop shop because the cops were always over there because they see who's working and they see, he's working tonight. Coffee's going to be good. Good and hot, good and fresh, good and ready. And so they'll be over there. So she stole, and she did the weirdest thing. She stole like one beer out of like a couple of different 12 or 6 packs, and then like they end up catching her, and they bring all the stuff back. I'm like, I really can't. I have to damage this out still, but I appreciate you guys getting her, and they took her home, and apparently her father seemed very abusive, but they couldn't really do anything because they had no proof. But I was like, now I kind of feel bad, but it is what it is. I had to. I caught her. I had to do something. I couldn't let her get away with it because that'd be my ass.
Right.
But that was step 1, right? Step 2, this sloppy, like I'm talking sloppy bitch. Like I don't know how she could walk. Like that's how like faded she was walking into the store. Tries to grab some alcohol. Now, the first of those problems is she's drunk. Like, clearly intoxicated.
Right.
It is my duty as a human being to not serve her alcohol. To let her buy alcohol at that point. It also doesn't help the fact that it's, like, past 2 o'clock in the morning, which here, you're not allowed to sell alcohol after that point. So, even if she was stone cold sober, she was a shit out of luck.
Right.
But as I was preparing myself to get threw up on, spit on, or cussed out, totally fine. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize what time it was. I'm sorry. I'll go put this back. I wish I had said, no, it's fine. As she went to put the beer back, let's recall in our minds the Leaning Tower of Beerza back there.
Oh, no.
She pushed it back too far. Knocked one of the ones that was behind it onto the floor, which dominoed that fucking tower. Which led to this incredible gem of a video that I took that night while I was sending video messages back and forth to a friend. This ended up getting caught on camera. Mine. Hold on. You people at home aren't going to be able to see this, but you can hear it.
Bitch! Son of a bitch! Oh, fuck beer! Fuck alcohol! Ah! Fuck you! Fuck you, cunt! Ah! Son of a bitch!
So pissed at that Budweiser guy.
Fuck! I hate this job! So much!
Jesus Christ.
That's the cooler door you hear me kissing.
God damn.
This is the mop bucket.
Fuck. What you looking at?
That was a display of some guy. It was like some cardboard cutout of some dude.
Christ,
I was pissed.
dude.
So, and again, this is just the abridged version. I already had, like, it wasn't a great night.
No.
The story's not over. I'm getting there.
Alright.
The story's not over, though. So the night kind of goes off, kind of further without incident. I clean that up as best as I can. It stinks in that cooler. Like, it's disgusting. Like, I hate the smell of beer, but it's even worse when it's everywhere. So, hours go by, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, like, the day, I mean, it's, of course, I have to deal with my normal bullshit, but it's no worse than it usually is. So, the manager gets in, and after a long night of being there, I'm ready to go home. It's the weekend. I'm ready to go home. Manager gets in. She's like, all right, so you can go ahead and call it a day. I'm like, all right, cool, finally. I'm ready to go home. So in the morning, first thing, like, one of the last things I got to do was fill up the slushy machine.
Mm-hmm.
And we got a new flavor in. We have a whole new formula that we're using, and it's a whole new flavor. Now, what we would do was we would take cups, and you can mark them off as damaged.
Right.
So, like, because, like, this was what we would do for the police officers that would come in. We would mark those off as damaged, and they would just have them for free. But we would take those and, like, oh, okay, I want something to drink, so I'm going to go ahead and get me a drink. I was like, all right, cool. Before I go, I want to try this new slushy, this new blue slushy that we got. I have to walk home. It's like a 20-minute walk uphill the whole way. So, you know where the gas station on Riverside is?
Mm-hmm.
That Marathon?
Yeah.
I'd walk from there all the way to where the Gilroy used to be. It's a pretty long walk. Yeah. Uphill the whole way. So, I go to grab a cup for my slushy, right? Mm-hmm. I notice that the handle has somehow been broken off of the slushy machine. I'm like, seriously? We can't have nothing here? The store manager's like, oh yeah, the handle's broke. You just gotta, like, take that little white part and pull down on it, and it'll dispense it. You don't need the handle. It's just, we gotta get a replacement part in for that. I was like, okay, cool. So I pour it down, pull it down. I'm like, oh sweet, this is gonna be good. I go to push it back up. I notice it's still kind of coming out. Now the thing that's beneath it does not drain. It's just a little tray. It doesn't, like, it's not a sink.
Yeah.
So it's gonna eventually fill up and start overflowing and making a mess for the manager. So I'm like, oh, I gotta keep that from overfilling and going everywhere. I go to push up to get it right back in its spot to make it stop coming out. Ping! White part goes shooting up into the ceiling, and a spring falls down after it. I'm looking up. I'm like, wow, that thing took off like a rocket. I don't know, it's whatever. My shift's almost over. Or my shift's over. It just took off like a rocket. It's broken, even more so now. Not my problem, not my fault. It's the manager's fault at this point. Mind you, I'm still, like, this is all happening within, like, a microsecond as I'm looking up, thinking, why is my chest getting cold all of a sudden?
It started spewing on you.
I was getting absolutely pissed on with blue slushy. I was getting smurfed.
Yes, I want more Daddy Smurf.
I'm so glad you find this funny. It gets worse. So I scream. I want to go home at the top of my lungs. The manager just looks over and she just says, "Oh no, sweetie." And I'm like, "What do I do?" She's like, "You're just going to have to step out of the way and let it finish pouring all over the floor. You might want to go grab the mop bucket. Here, I'll clock you back in so you can clean this up." I was like, motherfucker, I'm going to kill myself. I'm going to go back here and I'm going to find a box cutter and I'm going to end it right here and now. This floor is going to be covered with blue and red. I'm just going to end it. I'm going to kill myself. I'm going to die. This is how I die. I'm losing it. I come back from the back with the mop bucket. This was the final. This is what made me call out the next day. The radio changes.
No.
Now listen up. Here's the story. I'm blue, dabba dee dabba die. I at that point just look up into the sky and I'm like, so you're ready for me? You're ready for me? Because I'm going to go step out into oncoming traffic. There's a river across the street.
Oh my god.
And I'm seriously considering jumping headfirst with cinder blocks in my hands into the river.
My fucking face hurts.
So I look at the manager and I'm like, I'm blue, dabba dee dabba die, dabba dee dabba die, dabba, I wanna die. And she's just like keeled over, laughing her ass off. It takes me like another 2 hours to get this shit cleaned up. They have to walk home, blue, sticky, cold, and wet. When my socks are covered. So it's just, I sound like Squidward walking home.
Oh my god.
Dude, I called, oh, it was the assistant manager that was there, so I called my boss. Okay, I called my boss and I was like, I'm not coming into work tonight. She's like, why? Ask Janice. She'll tell you why. I come in the next day and she's like, I understand. I would have called out too. So with that being said, I'm going to go cool off because I'm very angry now just thinking about it. I'm about to have another stroke like I did at the beginning of the episode. Thank you all so much for joining us. I hope none of you have to have as bad of a day as I did. But please feel free to comment below in the comment section. What was your worst day at work?
We actually want to know because oh my god, I can't wait to read these ones.
Yes.
We might dedicate like a whole episode to reading some of these comments.
Yeah, absolutely. But with that being said, everybody, I am going to go. I got to go calm down. Jen, just close us out. I'm going. I can't. I'm remembering it is making me sick.
All right, thank you guys so much. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.